In 2025, Bitcoin once again captured the world's attention, igniting a frenzy reminiscent of its most volatile years. Investors, traders, and even everyday savers were drawn into the digital gold rush, driven by new market highs, innovative technology, and a renewed belief in decentralized finance. The 2025 Bitcoin craze was not simply about price, it was about a cultural, economic, and technological moment where the cryptocurrency once again defied expectations and redefined its role in the global economy. So in this video, we will discuss Bitcoin in 2025, the craze reshaping digital finance. But before starting the video, be sure to smash the like button and subscribe to never miss out on any of our videos. The road to 2025, lessons from the past. Bitcoin's journey to the 2025 rally wasn't without its trials. After peaking in late 2021, Bitcoin entered a harsh downturn, with its value plummeting over 70% by mid-2022. The crash was fueled by macroeconomic uncertainty, rising interest rates, high-profile crypto exchange collapses, and regulatory crackdowns in multiple countries. Investors faced painful losses, and public sentiment toward cryptocurrency soured. Yet the resilience of the Bitcoin network, continued technological development, and the steadfast belief of its core supporters kept the flame alive. By late 2023, a slow recovery was underway, aided by falling inflation rates, renewed institutional interest, and a growing recognition of Bitcoin's potential as a hedge against traditional market volatility. Institutional catalysts. Wall Street joins the party. One of the most significant drivers of the 2025 Bitcoin surge was the aggressive entry of major financial institutions. Global investment banks, asset managers, and even pension funds began allocating a portion of their portfolios to Bitcoin, citing its scarcity, decentralization, and potential for long-term appreciation. The approval of multiple spot Bitcoin ETFs in late 2024 was a watershed moment. These exchange-traded funds allowed retail and institutional investors to gain exposure to Bitcoin without directly holding the asset, eliminating concerns about wallets, private keys, and security. Trading volumes soared, and Bitcoin became a mainstream component of diversified investment strategies. Technological advancements fueling confidence. Alongside financial adoption came technical breakthroughs that improved Bitcoin's usability and security. The integration of the Lightning Network into major payment platforms dramatically increased transaction speed and reduced fees, making Bitcoin more practical for everyday purchases. Layer 2 scaling solutions also allowed for more complex financial products to be built on top of Bitcoin's blockchain, attracting developers and entrepreneurs. Additionally, hardware wallet technology advanced, making it easier for individuals to securely store their digital assets without needing deep technical knowledge. The role of social media and influencers. Just as in previous crypto booms, social media played an outsized role in shaping the narrative around Bitcoin in 2025. Financial influencers, tech leaders, and even celebrities began publicly endorsing Bitcoin, often sharing stories of massive gains. Viral videos, meme culture, and constant online discussions created a sense of urgency that drew in newcomers. TikTok and X, formerly Twitter, became the primary platforms for crypto education, although the information shared was often a mix of fact, opinion, and outright speculation. This constant stream of content amplified FOMO, fear of missing out, encouraging more people to buy in as prices climbed. Government reactions and regulatory balancing acts. The rapid rise of Bitcoin in 2025 triggered a wide range of government responses. Some nations like El Salvador and several African countries doubled down on Bitcoin adoption, integrating it further into their national economies. Others, including the United States and members of the European Union, implemented stricter reporting requirements and taxation policies to ensure transparency and prevent money laundering. Interestingly, a few governments began to view Bitcoin less as a threat and more as a potential asset to diversify their national reserves. While this shift didn't happen overnight, whispers of central banks experimenting with Bitcoin allocations sent waves through the market. Market psychology, greed, fear, and everything in between. The emotional roller coaster of the 2025 craze was nothing new to seasoned crypto investors, but came as a shock to many first-time buyers. As Bitcoin's price broke through old all-time highs, headlines proclaimed the start of a new financial era. Investors rushed to open accounts on exchanges, and trading activity spiked to record levels. However, volatility remained a constant companion. Sudden 15% drops would trigger waves of panic selling, only to be followed by equally swift recoveries. This pattern fueled debates about Bitcoin's maturity as an asset class, with some experts warning that speculation was overshadowing long-term fundamentals. The ripple effect on altcoins and the crypto ecosystem. Bitcoin's dominance in 2025 inevitably lifted the broader cryptocurrency market. Ethereum, Solana, and other major altcoins saw substantial price increases as investors diversified their holdings. NFT marketplaces experienced a revival, albeit with a more utility-driven focus compared to the hype-driven surge of 2021. Decentralized finance (DeFi) protocols also benefited, with total value locked (TVL) in DeFi applications reaching new heights. The Bitcoin boom reignited developer activity, leading to a wave of innovative blockchain applications across industries from gaming to supply chain management. Risks and red flags amid the euphoria. Despite the excitement, skeptics pointed to familiar risks. Bitcoin's price volatility, energy consumption concerns, and susceptibility to speculative bubbles were still unresolved issues. Moreover, the 2025 surge attracted bad actors. Scammers, pump-and-dump schemes, and fraudulent exchanges resurfaced, preying on inexperienced investors. Some economists also warned that the craze could distort broader financial markets, especially if leveraged bets on Bitcoin became too large. The question remained: was Bitcoin finally entering a stable growth phase, or was another painful correction inevitable? Voices from the Bitcoin community. The 2025 Bitcoin craze has sparked passionate discussions among crypto veterans, new investors, and industry leaders alike. Bitcoin's appeal has always been more than just its price tag. It's a movement, a technology, and for many, a philosophical statement. In this latest surge, the voices of the Bitcoin community have grown louder, more diverse, and sometimes more divided. Longtime Bitcoin maximalists, those who believe Bitcoin is the only true cryptocurrency worth owning, see the current rally as proof that their patience has paid off. Many of them point to the asset's fixed supply of 21 million coins as the ultimate safeguard against inflation, calling Bitcoin digital gold for the modern age. For these early adopters, the 2025 price explosion is not a bubble, but the inevitable outcome of years of global adoption and shrinking trust in fiat currencies. At the same time, a new generation of investors has entered the scene. Younger traders, influencers, and everyday savers drawn in by viral social media content and the fear of missing out. They often see Bitcoin less as a long-term store of value and more as a high-volatility opportunity for fast gains. Their enthusiasm adds fuel to the rally, but also raises concerns about speculative excess and inexperienced money entering the market. Global economic implications. The scale of Bitcoin's rise in 2025 had noticeable effects on the global economy. In countries with unstable currencies, Bitcoin became a lifeline for preserving wealth. International remittances increasingly flowed through Bitcoin, bypassing traditional financial intermediaries and reducing costs for millions of families. Meanwhile, hedge funds and sovereign wealth funds began experimenting with Bitcoin exposure, adding legitimacy to the asset in global finance. This trend suggested that Bitcoin was no longer a fringe investment, but an integral part of the evolving financial landscape. Looking beyond 2025, what comes next? As 2025 draws to a close, the question on everyone's mind is whether Bitcoin can sustain its momentum. Supporters argue that growing institutional adoption, technological improvements, and increasing acceptance as a store of value keep prices elevated. Critics caution that speculative excesses could lead to another sharp downturn. Regardless of short-term price movements, the 2025 Bitcoin craze demonstrated that cryptocurrency is here to stay. The year's events prove that Bitcoin is more than just a digital asset. It is a global movement challenging traditional notion of money, value, and economic power. Conclusion: a defining moment in Bitcoin's legacy. The 2025 Bitcoin craze was a confluence of technology, finance, culture, and human emotion. It was a moment when past lessons collided with new possibilities, creating an electrifying chapter in Bitcoin's ongoing story. Whether remembered as the beginning of Bitcoin's permanent rise or as another spectacular bubble, one thing is certain: 2025 changed the way the world thinks about digital money, perhaps forever. Thank you guys for watching. If you want more videos like this, make sure to like the video and hit the subscribe button, and we'll see you in the next video.